All right, everybody. It's another Saturday. I promised you last week we'd keep working on that Electro track today, and that's what we're going to do. Who is first in the chat today? Camel P, a.k.a. The Influence. Yes, nice. Acid Bad is back. Stereo Decor is back. UK Strings. Yes, we're about ready to blast off. And hey, it's Live Society. Happy Saturday, kids. I love it. I think we shouldn't waste any more time. I think we should just get right down to it and make the most of the hour that we have together, because I'm just itching to let the world know that I'm ready to go and make some electro. And that was a lot of O's in a row. That's enough. I always get silly at the beginning of the show, and that's what happens. So let's bring it in. Welcome, everybody. It's the Bill and John Show. Surprise! Hey, we got Bill Youngman in the house. He reached out to me on Facebook, and he's like, hey, I'm in town. Let's get lunch. And I'm like, well, at lunchtime on Saturday, what I usually am doing is this. So, Bill, what's up? Nice to have you here.
What's up, John? The John and Bill Show. I love it. This is
exactly.
A new thing incarnation coming through, so yeah.
And this is only the third time I've had an in-person guest. We had Kevin McHugh, a.k.a. Ambivalent. He was an in-person guest on the show. And actually, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, but hold on a second. Is he still here? Where's Kevin? There's Kevin. Kevin's teaching a class right now in the other room here. He's one of our new instructors at 343 Labs, so we're psyched about that. But anyway, back to sorry, Kevin. So yeah, he was on the show before. That's right. He doesn't know. He has no idea. And I had Lauren Flax here in person once.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
We were out in that room that Kevin's in right now. We did kind of a hardware, simple live jam. Like, how do you set up your MIDI controllers? Like, kind of like beginner-oriented little techno house jam. That was fun to do. It's tricky to do, to host a show with the guest and do cameras and do mixing and do, oh my God, it's a little more controlled here in the studio in front of my usual setup. So we shouldn't have too many issues. I think we're just going to hang out and talk a little bit. So Bill, what you been up to lately?
Talk about music and life. Well, aside from wanting to see you for lunch and adding this nice bonus of doing the first John and Bill show.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure there'll be another one of these.
Oh, they better be.
Been up to still music, some sound design projects, working on some music for a Netflix show, surprisingly. Doing sound design, composing, still making the odd electro track and the odd electro step track. So, I'm still out in Berlin, and I miss New York, and that's why I got to come visit you and do the John and Bill Show.
You're back here a lot, visiting friends and family.
Family and friends.
And you have gigs this weekend?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You do think?
I do think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. You're hanging out with your friends at their parties.
Friends and chilling.
That's right.
Enjoying the fruits of New York. Fruits and the dumplings.
And you have family around, and I'm glad to get to see you fairly often, because we go way back. You did your first record ever on my label.
I did a record for Serotonin Records, John Selway's label, the amazing electro label, in 1996. Was the first record. It was called Electro Step. Me and John met briefly at SUNY Purchase College.
Yeah, I went to Purchase.
In what some people call upstate New York. It's only a half an hour away from here.
It's not really upstate.
No, I hate when people call that upstate.
It's
Upstate's like Buffalo, right?
Low state.
Yeah,
mid-state.
What do they call it? Not transient city. What do you call a city near the big city?
Satellite city.
Satellite city, correct.
I would say White Plains is kind of a satellite city to the New York metro area, kind of, right? I
lived there for a long time, and I worked in New York back in the days.
Back in the days.
When Electrostep was having to make money working at an Intergroove distribution company, packing boxes.
I'm putting on one of his old tracks in the background right now.
So this track, PUJT, stands for Programmable Unijunction Transmitter. And John actually helped me mix this one and put it together and taught me about how to add freaky sounds to the tracks, sound effects and nuances to give the tracks life. So,
and bass. Someone I was just talking to the other day called out this track. A guy down in Florida, Larry McCormick. Heard of that guy? He's been producing forever. He's like a serious electro, bass, breaks, Florida guy. Mostly electro though. And he has a label and he DJs all over the place. And he's definitely been around since back then. And he said this is one of his favorite kind of classic electro tracks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He must be tight with DJ Icy.
I don't know if he was in that breaky, ravey scene. I think he's a little more Miami electro bass scene. You know? Yeah, I was actually talking to him recently. I think we might try to get him on to do like a electro feedback session or something. He's also a live streamer. He does some stuff on Twitch.
Since I consider you, Mr. Selway, the Electro Master, I think other,
No, I don't know about that.
Who hold the Electro sword should.
And I'm looking at like Anthony Ralter and Carl Finlow as Electro Masters. I'm like, how do they make so many tracks that are so good consistently? Like I've never made that much music, right? That's all they do. It's amazing.
It takes me forever to get something done. That's the issue. It's more of the creative decision being like, hey, when is it finished? But
yeah,
some people are just good at just banging out product, and it has soul and energy. Some people bang out a lot of crap, but the time and the care with all the little sounds and little elements that make something special, that takes.
I'm gonna bring down that level from the pudged. What does that mean again?
Oh, PUJT, Programmable Unijunction Transmitter. When you're in college trying to find yourself and coming up with cool, weird names for tracks.
Well, my first electronic music project was called Chaotic Sound Matrix.
Yeah, that's equally as nerdy as PUJT.
It's so late 80s. Like I was into industrial music. Like Meat Beat Manifesto or something like that.
Yeah,
that was a huge influence on me. Have you seen this thing? Someone made a little script to like add a pitch control to Bandcamp.
Have not.
It's so dope.
First time?
You can detect the BPM too. It's pretty accurate. 133. It had to be 133, right? Why is that?
It was 133.3 because of the lock groove.
Yeah, this is a 0.4, but whatever. We'll give him a 10th.
We'll give him a... Brilliant. When did you find out about this? Is this recent?
Yeah, there was like a video there was a DJ doing kind of how they go digging for music on Discogs and Bandcamp. It was like a resident advisor video, and they had a friend that made this plugin. You can even do +10.
So is this integrated in Bandcamp online now?
You just have to. No, it's a browser plugin.
Okay, you need to install it.
Yeah, it just goes. You get it from it's a Chrome extension. I think.
Wait, we got a comment here. That might be.
What are they talking about? This is a good addition, but the real MVP is the person who made a browser extension to add a volume slider. Wait, where's that one? We need a volume slider, right?
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
He knows something we don't know.
I like this faster.
I do too. It's like the ghetto tech.
That's how I would play it.
Yeah.
It's got that nasty, funky bass line. This is great.
Well, especially these days, everything's pitched up by 40 BPM. So.
It's got to be fast. My track that I'm working on is fast. I like fast electro a lot.
Oh, you got a new track on the way?
I do.
Was this the one you were talking about?
That's the one we're gonna. Right. That's the one you're gonna help me work on right now. You can give us some ideas. I might even let you sit in the driver's seat and mess around with it.
Who knows?
Let's see what Bill is up for. All right, let's put a stop to that. We're having fun. We're rolling. Sometimes my brain just goes way off. I realized I forgot to do our usual due diligence, which is we need to remind you why we're here. And one is just to absolutely, enjoy ourselves, sharing what I know and making music and talking to you guys every week. But also I work at 343 Labs Music Production School in New York City and in Berlin. And I teach synthesis and sound design. We just finished another round of the Making Techno online course, which was great. You missed out. A couple of students in that class. It was kind of like a group private lesson, and we really dug in deep on what kind of stuff they were trying to make and talked about different techniques to improve their sound and to make it more interesting and up their production level. So I don't know. Think about it. If you ever want to do that, check out our website. The links are below. You can see what classes we have scheduled. I'm also helping run our 1-year program, and part of that is, we do periodic master classes and have special guests and artists come in and do lectures or, give presentations and on what they're experienced in. And this guy right here, being in Berlin, just did, what would you call it? What did you do for us in Berlin?
It was actually just last week. Did a masterclass workshop about how to approach, it was a couple topics. But a lot of the topics were less about production and music creation, more about how to get your music out there. So how to meet up with music supervisors in like the film scoring world, and how to approach like sample companies, and how to get your stuff out on labels. Should you start your own label? Just a couple of like little businessy things that I didn't pay attention to back in the day, which now I'm like scrambling to get my act straight.
So it sounds like you covered a lot of ground. I think originally we were talking about just doing like how to get into scoring. Because I think you've done some work with some other people on some projects that
Correct.
are on Netflix.
Yeah, some Netflix stuff and some, art exhibition, interactive, unique sonic art pieces and all that. So it all revolves around. The idea with the lecture was 2 hours about all the things you can do around just being a cool electro DJ or producer,
right,
or just whatever else,
all the same skills that you learn to make music for the dance floor, you can extend out and find other avenues
absolutely
to make a life and a living out of it. It ain't easy, but I think you've done it. You've come from being a very underground artist to having a higher profile in the music business, and not only doing what you do as an artist, but in what you're talking about. And doing the art installation stuff, doing scoring, doing sound design. I think you've done a lot of sound design.
Well,
you were working at Native Instruments for a bunch of years.
Did that for a bunch of years. Did my hard time, and it was a great experience. And I mean, everything you do in your music career adds to what you're going to do in the future, and you build knowledge even when things are going horribly and you're getting rejected and you're trying to do things that are like out of your means. But
cool.
Yeah, the topics were, what else can you do around, making your tracks and everything else, and there's so much we can do, and it just takes a little bit of time and thought, especially these days with the internet. I mean, look, we have streams now and this and that. So streams, then affiliate programs, merchandise, running your label, publishing.
We're all just content creators now.
But things
slaves to content.
Yeah, things that you can do that you can enjoy, that bring you happiness, and if they can help you eat, that's also a bonus. But we do them either way because we love this music.
I loaded up this other track here, or brought up this other track here from one of your releases on Kill a Kill. Is Kill a Kill still happening?
Not really, but Nico, who runs Kill a Kill out in Berlin, he's a dear friend, and they put out a lot of epic music in the time that minimal techno was just the only thing driving. They wanted to do a little bit more left field stuff.
I appreciated that at the time, because when I started noticing these Kill a Kill records coming out, I was reaching my saturation point of all the minimal stuff that had taken over. I like that stuff too, but there's a point at which you're just like, saturated. You need something different. And so this is one of those labels that did that.
I agree. To have things that are kind of crossing over where they're accessible, usable, danceable, but you also have room for experimentation without you going into the breakcore too super weird zone,
Yeah.
So there's a fine line between that being having things that are fun and playful. And they did a lot of kind of Jack and House stuff, techno, hypnotic techno, steppy stuff. On this record John's playing right now, this track Trilogy is just a chill kind of wake and bake couch melody. But the EP itself,
is that a new genre?
I just made that up. So,
wake and bake couch music.
Yeah, we should add that to our list of genres.
All right, I'm gonna do we'll do it. Let's do the John and Bill show, and that's the music we'll make.
Okay, and we won't forget what that's called because we have this recorded.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, quickly on this same record, there's a track called HH3, which is like a steppy halftime, a little bit dubby techno thing. I remember putting it out. Marcel Detman wrote me an email he had written me a while ago. It's a great release. So, hey, that's
nice
cool.
humble brag there.
This is like
perfect.
2000.
Yeah, Devin just sent me this email. Yeah.
2007. Well,
all right, that's actually pretty early. I know. It's like a small world, and this is also a long time ago. So.
He used to work at the record distribution place where the girl who brought me over to Berlin ran.
Okay.
So I know.
Which distributor was that? Is it still around?
It was called Possible Music.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it doesn't exist anymore. But Cora Schneider, the girl who brought me to Berlin, which the experience would change my life. Wow, I can actually do music full time thing.
Nice.
Marcel was working there, doing the shipping orders and working at Hard Wax, and he was a resident at Ostgroup before the Bear Night opened. So yeah, he's an old buddy. That's it. But yeah. But anyways. Got that track, another track, and there's a Samuel District remix on this EP too. So
wait, should we check out the HH3?
Sure, yeah, you're gonna skip through it a little bit. We got a lot of electro to cover, but this is kind of yeah. This was made with I
like it's like broken beat, chill kind of dubby, dark.
MPC, bunch of effects. Miranda Ableton use these. I think it's the IK Multimedia CSR reverbs. I still have them.
Oh, those I remember that.
They updated them and they still work on
nice
on the Apple Silicon.
Awesome.
And the cool thing with those is this and that is it has 2 LFOs in the plugin. You can assign any parameter to get those. I would do it all by hand, just kind of like mouse click automate. Poor man's automation.
That works. All right, so this is cool. And then we got the Sandwell. Probably a little more banging.
Yeah.
Okay,
More for the dance floor.
I like that.
Less couch, wake and bake, whatever we call it.
But this is not electro. We love it.
It's not electro.
But it's not electro. We need to get into some electro. All right. And we will. Let's just pause and see what's going on with the chat for a minute. Who else is coming today? Itze is here. Mike Harding is here. Irish Flip. Yes, we have a special guest. This is Bill Youngman. He's a very old friend of mine. He's another artist. He's been in Berlin a long time, but you're from around here originally. We went to school together. And, yep. I'm psyched that Bill's here today. And we're going to do this thing. We're going to check out my electro track, and then we're going to get some lunch. That's the agenda.
Yay.
Aaron Hedges, what's up? New Drexian is back. I think New Drexian probably likes electro, don't you think?
I would assume
I would assume. I think we know that.
But never judge.
Cool. Adam Norland is asking a question. I am not familiar with these names. Maybe Bill is. What do you think about J Words and H31R? Are you familiar with those artists?
I am not.
All right.
We're going to have to refer to the Google.
We're going to Google this right now. J Words, musical artist, Bandcamp. Okay, Bandcamp, that's good. I hope this is the right. It says J Words is a producer, composer, breaking boundaries in electronic and hip hop. Is that the person? Do we have it right? You can tell us. I'm just curious. Since we're investigating, what do we got here? J Words. Untitled. I'm going to go for the untitled one. Let's see what we got. Oh. I like that.
Smooth.
I'm into that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Kind of old school with the 909. It's breaky 909. Nice electric piano chords. I'm into it.
Yeah, a little road sample.
I love it. Like, these are really evocative track names.
Let's try another one.
It's got that kind of like Baltimore club rhythm with the kick drum. Dun, dun. But not exactly. Let's go in a little bit. This is cool. I like chill stuff like this. I like the syncopation.
Something I would like to investigate more after the chat.
I hope this is the right artist.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, we love it. All right.
And the other one was
H31R. Let's see what comes up. Silence.
Slap belly one
More
dance.
hip-hop.
Why hold back? This is your chance. I'm
Cool.
more like this is a turn up your ass. Won't fill up the gas. Just put up.
I could put this on
and chill to it.
Thanks for the suggestions. Let's flip it up, though. Let's change it up and see what I'm actually going to be doing, or Billin's going to help me do today. And we were doing this last week. We got this electro track going on. It's a working title. I need a real title for this track. I am not going to call it Yes to Snake. I don't know where that came from. I don't remember. This came originally from kind of a sketch I did like literally maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I just put in some weird noises and I couldn't, I don't know what that must have been like I saw the word or something. I don't even know. So let's get into the main view here. And
it's better than being called version 1.7.
well, right. I'd rather instead of just a date and something that is meaningless, like, at least that's evocative enough to help me remember what it was. And maybe there was something snaky about one of the sounds. That's probably what it was. There is a sound that has a little thing. It's like kind of weird. So I'm not going to make that noise ever again.
Let's listen to it.
Here we go.
Ooh, yeah.
I think one of my favorite things about it is that little modulation on the delay. You hear it?
Yeah, it goes,
yeah.
That's the little snakes. That's
the snake.
The cobra, like. Could definitely break out the Jankos to this, just for that part.
You got Jankos?
Not anymore, but if I did, I'd be wearing them.
I feel like those must have come back by now. I'm seeing a lot of big pants out there.
I think
lately.
Big Pants came back and went back
already.
Probably a few times in the last 20 years.
You remember Scott Richmond?
Oh yeah.
He posted on Facebook the other day a picture of someone on the subway wearing fat jeans, and he was like, "Is this a thing again?" And I'm like, "It was a thing again already."
That happens when we get old. We're like, no, we're like 2 years behind what is trendy.
Oh, Mike Harding has a good suggestion, although he spelled it wrong. Anaconda. That would be a better name for this track.
Actually, like the way he spelled it, because it's more like new school, like skipping.
Oh, it could be like no
syllables.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Or it could be and kinda. Or
No vowels.
dig it though. Oh, that's cool. This kind of like granular sound screeching in the top.
Right. And that's actually the bass run through a granular effect and reactor and then re-recorded and reversed.
Great.
Yeah.
Those are the freaky sounds we were talking about earlier. That,
And now I lost.
yeah.
I can't find the file for the it's like a weird one that I downloaded and I don't remember what it's called.
The actual reactor. Ooh.
Yeah,
there it is.
the
Hidden now.
ensemble file that you have to load up in Reactor. I don't know where it is. It's on a hard drive somewhere.
There'll always be more ensembles.
That's true.
Good to move on. Press things to tape. Move on with them.
So, what do you think about the transition to more like UK bassy rolling style right here? It's almost like slow drum and bass. You know what I mean?
I love this part. I also love the beginning part with building up energy. It doesn't lose energy when it drops down to this more like kind of like dubby bass and bleep. And now you're bringing up some of these. I think some of the highs kind of went missing at like bar 65 when the drop came in.
Well, yeah, it goes. There's contrast. You have to go back and listen to it. See,
As it
this
should.
is why This is why I want to listen to this with me to get another producer's feedback, right? Because I like it. I think it's fine, but also like I want it to be as good as it can be, and getting a perspective from someone could be helpful.
Points, because we can. How long have you been working on this one for, though? Is this recent effort? Okay.
I've killed this. I've gone through. This is like the third version this year.
Okay. Oh, only the third version.
Oh my god. Now listen. Now this is it's transitioned from straight electro to bassy electro to breakbeat. There's an evolution. I'm doing the amen thing, which you're really good at, and I'm not sure if I'm as good at it.
It's been a while since I've done an amen, but it keeps so far. Wait, we have a break coming in. I think you did a really good job at like splicing genres and not losing the flow of it. And it doesn't sound like 4 tracks in one, you know, because melodically it's staying in the same key, blah, blah, blah. This is good, like they call it the breaky breakdown.
And like a little bit tricky with the breakbeat, but not too glitchy.
Yeah, and the breakbeat's not too in your face. I like how you rolled all the lows off the break, and it's just sitting there tiny in the mix. And
I originally had it up front, and it was too busy.
Yeah, once you drop that,
like I pulled it back so the kick and the snare from the electro beat were more forward.
Yeah, if the break's too heavy, then it just becomes a break track. Then you can delete everything else in your sound design and just have that.
So here's the part that I left off last time that I wasn't sure if I liked. You know what I mean?
This section or that rise?
Transition.
It's not my favorite transition, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it needs work. Like it to make that better.
If it just drops and goes blah, the track has been so massive throughout here and there that if there's going to be a break there, I would prefer maybe silence or that noise from the beginning of the track, that kind of that granular bass sizzly thing I like. If that kind of sizzled up and rose into that break, that'd be cool to recall it. Say, hey, we're here again. But if you didn't ask me to, listen to it, I'd say this is completely done so far. It sounds, but here in the studio, it sounds awesome.
That one spot is the thing that needs the most work, I think.
I think it's less work than you think. It's just taking it out, silence, one other sound from the beginning. Maybe just take the sound effect from the beginning, stretch it in that part so you fill up one bar.
All right.
It's not even necessary though, too, because the track is so cool on itself.
Thank you. I have one other idea about changing this is going back to the non-breaky part at the end rather than continuing the breaks.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to try. And this is the end with the snaky stuff.
That could be good too. That's a great idea. There's no reason to have this, too much drama in the end. But this break here, what we just heard at the end of the track, that would work good where that kind of...
And Aaron Hedges says we should get some Samuel L. Jackson Snakes on a Plane.
Oh, yeah. Snakes on
samples,
a Plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Aaron, that's a good idea.
Right.
I like that idea.
So,
any tips for making leads cohesive?
Oh, that's a good question. All right, I'm going to throw that to Bill. I'm going to see, this is a little bit off our subject, but a good question. Any tips for making leads cohesive? I think it depends on the context, but what do you think?
Yeah, we need a little more context on that. Do you mean like melodically or
sonically?
Like a top line or let us know.
Yeah. See if you can.
Good. I think
I'm moving this over.
Frank is watching.
Hey, Frank.
Frank
what's
Ellen.
up?
Frank Ellen out in Germany is watching.
Cool. Get in the chat.
The Bass Breaker Studio people. If you want to
Nice.
join the chat, hello from us in New York City.
Fantastic. I realized like if we had planned this ahead of time, I would have like had you post this on your social media so that you had more people out there like checking it out.
Oh, that's fine. This is
okay.
This is
off-
real spontaneity.
That is right. I think that beats out planned spontaneity every time.
Yeah, there's no scripting here. Obviously not.
Cool. So Mike Harding is saying sonically and with more than one sound together, like layering.
Yeah. Well, Mike, if you mean like, well, first you need a kick-ass melody. Can I? I'm sorry, I swore on TV.
This is not for children. It's fine.
Oh, great. Okay. Fuck shit.
Enough.
Okay, so listen. I mean, if you have it's nice if you have a bass line complementing your lead line. I don't have to know about music theory and anything like that, but if your lead sounds good, the question was, where was the question again? How to make it more cohesive. Yeah, I think a lot of things in the phrasing of a melody is good. You know, like in John's track, we have, I guess, our melody is kind of like the bass line. It's like dum 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 dum. There's a phrase behind that. If he had a lead on that, it could be like, so we have the bass note of the bum, and we'd have like whatever we like made on top. There's a little lead in there somewhere, right? But
there's an arpeggiated
inverting,
kind of thing.
Inverting notes is cool. If you playing with the key is cool. We want to do like a key chain is fun.
This is
call
doing
response.
Call and response with the bass.
Metaphase, yeah, the call and response. Yes.
No.
We want to have the cohesiveness.
So there's like melodic, rhythmic cohesion. Like what's the structure and what is it making sense to tell a story? And then if you're thinking about layering, like two instruments playing the same melody, that's more of like an instrumentation or a sound design thing. And you want your sounds to not be too similar so they don't like step on each other.
Yeah, you don't want to layer the same melody with a different sound and too much unless you're just trying to thicken something up.
Yeah.
Because then you're taking energy out of that main sound that sounds good. So whenever your fundamental lead sound is, like you did, the call and answer is good. Doing like some counterpoint, like something melodically, like a third above your main melody. If you nudge all the notes up a third, a fifth, or a seventh, you know, in how music works, that could sound pretty.
We're adding on the Bill and John show. We're also going to do, in addition to the Wake and Bake, whatever was it?
Well, yeah, forget
Wake and Bake couch.
Wake and Bake couch music.
Yeah, and we're also going to do music theory.
Music theory.
Yeah.
Adding strings or pads is nice when you have your melody, a pad that complements. So if you have, I don't know, a C major chord, and then you play a third above that and play your melody on top. If we had a keyboard,
should I get the piano going?
Actually,
let's just switch.
I think we get like with ADG on the QWERTY keyboard, you get a C major, right? And
all right.
If you want to play a C minor, it's AEG on your QWERTY on your laptop.
Wow,
But,
you're hired. You're our new music theory instructor at 343 Labs. Let's hey, look at this. I love it.
Bill and John's. Oh yeah.
That is today. That's. I'm going to change the title of the video when it's archived to Bill and John's Excellent Adventure.
John said, "I need a hat." We both have a.
We have beards. He doesn't. He needs a hat. He needs a different hat though.
I do need a hat. I need some kind of hat. Maybe like one
to
of those
protect you from the cold winter. Wind.
Yes.
All right. You need a beanie, a teeny weeny beanie. Did you see that video? You never saw that?
It sounds familiar, but yeah.
Awful, terrible, but very funny. My kids love it. All right, we're way off base now. It's halfway through. I see some new names here in the chat. Metaphase is here. Kozeps is here. We got another suggestion for the name of the song, The Snake Pit.
The Snake Pit. I like that.
That's also, I'll take that under advisement. 20
these
go
are
to
great suggestions.
20 go to 10 is here. Fantastic. Nice to see you again. A lot of returning names in the chat today. So you know what we're doing? It's Selway's Techno and Electro Saturdays. I got my friend Bill Youngman here as a special surprise guest. He was just like, let's go get lunch. And I was like, no, let's do a live stream and then get lunch. So here we are.
And I agree.
I just made him do it. And you got scared at first. You're like, do you want me to like play live or something or like present something? I'm like, no, just come and talk. Come and talk.
They were like, hey, you got to play a 6-hour DJ set.
Oh man,
before lunch.
That's right. That as soon as Kevin's done with his class in the other room, we're gonna go in there and set up a party. Actually, no, he's gonna teach a finishing music workshop.
Okay, that's what's happening.
That is one of my favorite courses here at 343 Labs. How do you like that segue? Yeah, because we have all these courses you can do. And the finishing music workshop is just all about, it's like an extended feedback session that goes into more details with new information. So it's like a lesson each time, but then most of the class is spent like making music, working on finishing tracks, right? With instructors and your classmates. And I really enjoy that class. Kevin's having a good time doing it too. So, you want to know more about 343 Labs, you know what to do. There's those links down in the description. And I don't want to forget, before we get back to the music, I want to talk a little bit about the special thing that we're doing next next week. All right, check this out. Ready?
I'm ready.
Actually, this deserves full screen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lenny D.
It's Lenny D.
Legend.
Lenny's going to be a remote guest. Unfortunately, he won't be in the studio, but he and I are going to check out your submissions for hardcore, gabber, hard acid, rave, hard techno, industrial techno, aggressive, banging tracks, right? So we already got a bunch. You will be disintegrated, Bill. We already got a bunch of submissions in our Discord. So if you want to take part in that, you definitely need to join our Discord. I just updated the link, I think, in the description, so it should be fresh. I know those Discord invite links go stale after a while. So you want to join our Discord if you haven't already. Find the Selway-feedback channel. You'll find info there. You can post like a SoundCloud link or a streamable link. I mean, I guess a download's fine too, but however you want to share your track. And then we're going to go through, pick the ones that we think are sort of most appropriate for the show, right? We're going to, so like we keep it hard, keep it pumping, keep it ravey, distort those kick drums, right?
Yeah, distort, create pressure.
Yeah.
Don't just add distortion to one kick.
Right.
Create that head.
We don't have
this
to
is
get
not a
into
production list. Okay, anyways, but I'm going to tune into that. It looks fun. I'm going to tune in.
It's going to be great. Lenny's a really fun guy to talk to.
He's amazing. He's a legend, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, so you want to know more about that?
Super fun.
Check out our Discord. I'm going to be posting some details. We're going to have some prizes. Industrial Strength is offered to they do sample packs as well. So they've got all these all styles, not just techno and hardcore, like all styles.
Right?
Yeah, they sell through Loop Masters. They sell through
all
all these different platforms. It's a music label for releases, and it's also a sample and production label, right? So we'll be giving some of those away. Maybe a T-shirt. I don't know. We'll pick like a first and second and third place winner. We thought maybe can we offer a winner, like a release on Industrial Strength, but they decided that it wouldn't be fair to promise that. Right. So the way we talked about it with Lenny and Jules is you have an opportunity for Lenny to consider maybe if he likes what he hears, that you guys could. It's like an introduction. It's like you're giving him a demo and he can accept it or not. So that's all we can promise. But at least, it's something, right? You're doing a feedback session with a guy who knows what he's doing. He has a really great ear. He's a really amazing producer, and he runs a label. And if you want to get your music out there, this could maybe be a way to do it. And at very least, if you're the winner, maybe you'll get a T-shirt and a bunch of sample packs and some music or something, right? So enough about that. Let's get back to this crazy electro track that's here in Ableton Live behind us.
That's Electro Day. I mean, the production is so crisp and clean on this one. So this is what I meant when you came to 65 Electro.
That little pause.
Great, but the hi-hats are gone from the beginning, which are fine. It goes into a new generation, but I feel like...
So you like that, the shiny...
I kind of like that little... Because it starts with a shine, or you start without the shine and add it at bar 33,
Yeah, so this is how
bars.
it is. And then we go into this part.
I mean, this is just like nitpicking.
And then we go back to it is nitpicking. I mean, we could bring it back earlier, maybe.
Sure.
But all right, this is what Bill's suggesting is bringing this, keeping it in.
Is this that?
Yeah.
The high end. It's fine with it without. It could be side change of the kick now since that new bass line comes in. That could be the idea. Just using like a glue compressor or multi-band enabler, side chaining it to the kick. But so it keeps that frequency going. It's not completely gone, but it's also not completely in your face rolling the whole time.
I'm doing it.
All right, quick easy try. All you gotta do is find the kick now. I don't label anything, so I'm just looking or
There it is.
sidechain from whatever audio.
It does break up you know?
It just break it up a little too bit. So this is what we're doing. We're trying. Yeah. Only is we're gonna have to bypass the compressor in the first 32 bar.
Well, maybe it sounds good in the beginning too. I mean,
let's try it out because side chaining, you know.
Actually, I need to be on peak. I need to be on peak, not RMS. That's not fast enough.
Yep.
There you go. Now that's sharp.
A lot of times we think of side chaining as like EDM, like everything's ducking so hard. But just tastefully, a little use gives so much space back in any mix, even if it's super minimal. This one's in between.
I think I like that.
Because the snare is so crisp and present and beautiful. It's got the little chorus reverb on it. It's got a spike. Is that snare is it a single snare? Is it layered?
It's layered.
With something?
There's two. It's like snare and a clap or something.
And one thing I didn't hear when we were listening to the track, the first time I heard the track was when we played it here on the stream, 31 minutes ago. There are no snare fills, and I know a lot of John Selway tracks that have once in a while, at least the bop, just the simple, doesn't have to be IDM rolled out 64 triplets, you know. But,
look at this, Funk Strong said the same thing. Wonder if varying the snare would give it some extra life.
Yeah, well, I think Funk Strong is on my side here with it.
All right.
So we could.
Now, I agree. I originally kept it straight because with the break beats, it's so busy with the break beats that I kept the electro snare just 2/4.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple little fills like this one with the kick, but it's not very busy. So I'm not going to do this now because it's going to be really tedious to watch me put in a bunch of small snare drums throughout the track. But I think that's a good idea, and I'm going to try it out off the air.
Yeah, here would be the idea. The off the air idea is, I mean, every 8 or 16, whatever, have the snare fill in there and put the probability on the clip in Ableton.
That's true. I could just
so you get variation
yeah.
from it. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes it sounds a little bit, you know, a little cheesy. But if you get the right fill and you have some variation, the variation's fun. You can play with the velocity too of the snare as well, the filter. So the ghost notes, if you want to do ghost notes that come in there, just little ticks and pops.
Little spooky notes.
Little spooky notes. And if you do those on the probability like maybe 25, 30%. They just happen here and there, and might bring some more lift in. But you're right, when the break beats come in,
it would be really
busy.
There's
no space for any more snare drums.
So, all right, so let's look at this. This is the transition that needs the most help with this build up that gets all washed out.
Yeah.
So what I did was shut off. This is how it used to be. I just turned off the delay on that pad.
Okay. We're getting there.
Smoother, right?
That's smoother with it on. Otherwise, it sounds like an EDM drop, you know? And we want to avoid it. It's a serious electro. It's fun. It's melodic, you know?
So the next thing is,
not too dark.
Do I need that?
This boom, boom.
That because you took issue with that, right?
I dislike it. I don't think there's a reason for a resolve before the music comes back in. You can resolve the track at the end, you know?
All right.
Let's have a listen. Change the pitch of the snare, Aaron's saying. Yeah, like moving shadow, like moving shadow. Rob Playford, old school. That's also fun.
That with the Amen.
Oh, totally. I prefer that without that boom bum, because the bum bum is a statement, it's a resolve, and it sounds like it's the end of something. But the track starts again after that.
And so here's what I was also thinking is not bring.
Yeah, take it out. More tension, less is more. Good.
But now what's missing? Something's missing.
Well, where are we at now? We're already at 4.5 minutes. I mean, we're almost driving this one home now. There could be a lead-in after the break, before the snare starts.
Oh.
Like, jam. Oh yeah, those freaky sounds were muted. Yep, do them in. Yep, the hi-hat stays in. And this is smooth. We don't want to create too much more energy now at this point. Like I said, we're at the 4:45 mark. Great, that fill was good. The break before
should this
the break.
come back or no? Yeah, so here you can see there's like a couple little spots where I left in these I think are some stretches and pitch modulations.
Yeah, that's tasteful.
And there's just
That's some variation.
maybe
Little
here
ear
we can
candy.
do the like pitch fill thing.
Yep.
But then so I could go in. This part has all these little slices. Maybe we do.
Yeah, Aaron's. I know there's some comments from you guys. Some sort of scream thrown in. The dub delays. Yeah, like a hooky sound. Yeah, I mean hooky sounds are always. Yeah. Like scream in a trash can. Record it with a piezo mic. Stretch it out. Pitch it up 24 semitones. That's cool.
Yeah, just these little chopped in.
That's really nice. That adds kind of a hook, and that's our compromise to the scream sound. Yeah, that's good.
Woo.
That new sound is dope. Yeah, I'll leave that in.
I have to figure out like how much of this to use. Too many breaks.
Yeah, after that, get rid of that.
I was thinking like since they are so in and out, like some kind of effects or to like make it more of a splash. I don't know. What do you think?
I like the more effects.
Mm-hmm.
I like how an effects for me. I like the more is more. Things sound weirder and weirder. But then when you have those fills, you can take out more of the rest of the track. You can mute some other elements. Like literally, you can mute most of the stuff when that happens. The kicks and even the bass. Filter the bass down there, or just take it out.
You wanted fills. You got him.
Yeah, that's it. Some of that. Yeah, drop on the tube thing. I think it's all sounding great, John. How are the guys in internet land? How are they feeling about it? Any more ideas, suggestions?
On the reels. Oh no, I think you got it all. We got the scream. We got the change of the pitch. Aaron Hedges had some good advice today. Eatsy is stuck with his track. Oh no.
Oh, check out this comment.
This one?
Yeah.
When I would play tracks like Lenny D's back in the day at home. It's covered up.
His mom would ask.
If the washing machine was on. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure some of his tracks contain lots of washing machine.
Some of them might.
Washer, dryer.
There's definitely been some washing machine techno out there. Some people like sampled their washing. There was even memes. I've seen memes and like YouTube videos about washing machine techno. All right, where are we?
Here's a good one though. Too. Have that pad sound that ends the break come in like 50% at the beginning of. Can you move the mouse? Sorry.
Oh, it's here.
Oh, okay. Leaving the break, then ramp it up to 100%. So the pad that pad.
So you mean quieter? Is that what you mean? 50%
at the beginning of the break, then ramp it up to 100, like kind of a riser.
It is sort of like a riser already. It's getting brighter and spacier because there's more and more delay and reverb on it.
It does fade out way before the. It does. Well, it doesn't. Right. It doesn't keep the intensity going. But
are you talking about when it goes away or during? Right. I mean, okay, we'll come back to these fills and this chopped up break. Yeah. So we're talking about this section. All right, here. All right, I'm going to clear this up for how do you KFWFK? I feel like if I try to pronounce that, I might end up insulting somebody. It sounds like a It's not a pad that's separate. It's this sequenced pattern turns into a pad because I make the envelope longer and I add effects to it and it washes out.
And it sounds like a pad when it washes out. What is that for an instrument? Is that a live plugin? Or
it's just an analog.
Just so we know what you're using? Okay.
This guy.
Okay, cool.
It's all just reverb and delay.
Yeah, but it still sounds like a pad.
It sounds like a pad.
It's,
And it doesn't happen until the end. So you're saying wash it out earlier, maybe?
Yeah. Well, someone else add it one more time. Like it does rise up. I was thinking if it went more, but if it continued.
Oh.
If that end tail that sounds like a pad kept
Oh,
going.
all right.
You can even resample just that part of it, put it on a new audio track, and just have it happen more. And Mike's saying, add it one more time. You know, when it's gone, it adds tension. You know, there's another time. Well, maybe hear it in the context of the track. I mean, it could work both ways, but it's...
Something's shutting off there.
Yeah, no. Cool. Those are good ideas. Record as a pad. This is what I was just saying. You record
Let's
it,
resample
have
it.
it separate, resample it. Yeah, you're right. No, random ideas it's all random ideas. Making music is all random ideas until you say, hey, I like the way it sounds. No rule book for electro, right? So
like I could take that whole thing and
yeah, the pad thing and work with that at the end, tease it at the beginning.
yeah.
I mean, but it might... It could do whatever it could do. It could do that. Could do that.
Oh my God, there's so much automation.
There's
All
so
right.
much automation. Collapse
So I could
that.
like freeze that. Let's see how long this takes.
Freeze and flatten.
Do 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 do. Wait, here. This is
Sometimes it's quicker to resample than to
check
freeze
this
and
out.
flatten.
We're just kidding. I was just like, it's going to take like a whole minute to to bounce this track to audio. We would just do the be right back screen until it was done, but then we couldn't talk to you.
It's
so.
fun. Oh, Mr. T's here. Hi, all. Joining late in the day. Good to see you.
What's up, Mr. T? I pity the fool
pity the
who
fool.
misses our stream
I
today.
was just going to say something. I was going to quote the A-Team.
Dude, quote the A-Team.
Well, that was the quote.
Oh, I pity the fool that. Say,
What
I
were
pity
the
the fool that. No, I want you to make something up.
I pity the fool that missed the live stream.
No, but then
It's okay, T.
I need another one.
I'm having a brain fart. What do they used to say?
I pity the fool who doesn't submit his hardcore techno track for feedback by February 9th with Lenny D.
I ain't getting on no airplane. That Mr. T, that's good. Okay.
I ain't getting on no airplane.
Yeah, they used to give him sedatives, right? And he hated it wasn't Murdoch. Who was?
Why did I bounce this? Like I should have done this off the air, right? I should have taken that advice and done it later.
Well,
but
this is group feedback right
no,
here.
This is why I did this, to give us a reason to fool around and hang out and talk for a minute. That's what I did.
And we love this, and we're having a good time with you guys.
Nice.
And it's almost done. There's about 13%, and then we can try
it's
this.
almost there, and then we can like take it and resample it and flip it and rub it down.
I could Belle Biv DeVoe.
I knew this would be fun.
If you're from the 90s, you know those.
I love it. Low res, what's up? A pause.
Well, Mr. T's
whilst
living up to his name. He's got all the
clears
quotes.
ears and brain.
Yeah, this is the whole mindful thing of taking breaks.
That was
Something I talk a lot of my personal little workshop mentoring thing is it's mostly about not making music. You're making the music when you're not making it, because you're actually just doing other things around that, being mindful, eating clean, taking a walk, trying to get sleep.
doing yoga every morning.
Doing yoga every morning.
Watching a YouTube
And
video.
then drinking a ton of beers at night.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, you have to reward yourself.
I love it.
Yeah, but you're right. The balance is good. What? Who is that?
Scromantis
Low-res,
is
a
back.
pause, yeah.
What's up?
The
Oh, but
pause-
yeah, low res had a
pause
good,
is
nice
good.
comment. Yeah.
Pause is good. That's a brilliant comment.
Take a breath. And now let's see what happened with this frozen track.
Let's
All
see
right,
if it
so
actually hit my nose in the mic.
what I got to do, let's make a new audio track, and let's option. We're gonna select all these things,
Mhm.
and we're gonna option click and drag. There it is.
Kaboom.
There it all is. And then I
Kaboom.
can
Now we
just-
have
I got the whole thing.
all of it.
But you know what I just realized?
What?
All of that didn't get the pad. That didn't get the reverb. The reverb's making the pad, not the sound.
Is it going through an aux send?
Yeah.
Then we'll have to just do the
I have to
resampling trick.
All right, but this is what it sounds like without. I mean, it's still pad-like because of the long release on it. Such a loud.
I mean, we could
man.
just slap it like a Valhalla reverb or live reverb on the edge of it.
That's the other thing. I
Turn
could
it
just,
up to 100, everything, and then just record that part. Just the last tail where it's not arpeggiating. So our sound source is just an actual tone, single tone, if you will.
It starts being a pad right there. Right, it starts getting long release and overlapping all the notes. So I'm just gonna do that.
Just grab the end, just the little pad part. Add some verb. Verb. Aaron, I like that comment too. Pickled ginger to cleanse the palate. Exactly, you got it. So it's staying fresh. Working too much on things, you get tunnel vision. And this is what I was going to ask John.
I'm going to get the spot where there's no like there. There's nothing percussive in there.
Correct.
That's all we need.
We can even complex waveform pitch it down too, but add a ton of reverb on that now too, and we'll try this idea.
Let's reverse it.
So we have a few minutes left, and we're going to materialize this.
The door's open.
Or you can do the classic trick of reverb and then
Someone left the door
reverse it. Reverse it, then reverb, then reverse it back. You get that.
Hey.
That old swell.
That's all right. So yeah, and then if I reverse it back.
That's some reverb. More reverb.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Now.
All right. I'm actually gonna consolidate that and make it a new sample.
Command J for you people out there who use key commands.
And then which reverb do we like?
I like the Valhalla, but we're using strictly live.
No, we're not. We're using whatever we like.
Valhalla vintage verb. And the preset 1 is that's it.
That's it.
That's the best reverb in the market. I'd even maybe add like an auto filter subtly and a little bit.
It's a little bright.
A little bit of tremolo. Yeah, it's very bright. Soothe it out with an EQ.
That's a pretty reverb, Bill. You're absolutely right. We need no other reverb.
No other. And the guy makes them all himself, and you can.
There's a lot of solo developers out there.
Most of them are these days, right?
Yeah.
But hey, a little filtering down, just to soften some of the sharpness. And this could be the start to your ambient album.
That's
as well. So this track.
What is it? It's the Wake and Bake couch.
Wake and Bake couch music.
Yeah.
Wake and Bake stoner music.
Mike Harding wants us to send it to a feedback channel. Oh, you want to do like a delay feedback thing?
Feedback loop like Echoplex?
I mean, just the Live's Echo has endless feedback in it, pretty much.
We'll do that for time's sake. We're putting an echo on it.
Yeah. But what does it have? What does it sound like just first like this? This also
going to be
an
eighth. It's going to be pretty tight. Yeah, it's got that
no.
Echoplex kind of sound to it, like a space reverb.
I'm going to do a ping pong
space,
and I'm going to do a modulate the bandpass filter.
Yes, so we just get the juice of the effect and
sweeping up and down a little bit.
A little high mid ear candy.
High mid ear candy.
Yes.
Where is it? Why don't I hear it? Oh, because it's this.
Oh, is the filter muted? It's gonna.
There's the feedback.
I like that. Or should we hear it in context in the track?
Well, yeah, we don't know where to put it.
I know we don't know yet.
And now it's making it sleepy time. Okay.
I just like that sound on its own. It wasn't my trick to,
make it into ambient. You tricked us, Bill.
Everyone here in the chat, we all talked earlier and said we're going to sabotage John and make an ambient track out of his electro track.
You guys. So where should it go?
Well, there were some suggestions, but I think we had from Cliff and a few other people to bring it at the beginning of the break, just so there was more of it happening, But it could rise up and then dip down, rise up to the one, when it comes back in, and then go back down.
It's more spacey now, that's for sure.
It's maybe lower it by 5 decibels. It can go all the way until after these next 4 bars.
Like that long? Holy moly. Okay, I hear what you're saying, though.
We can short it to half of it. Anything's possible. Yeah, Aaron, side chain is cool. Always good. Side chain is good. But yeah, I think we're at this point, if it gets too ambient-y, yeah, that's a good feature actually there, John.
Look a little darker.
Yeah, I like where you put it now. It's good because it's not eating up the energy of the track when everything's happening. And now dip it back down. Yeah, dip.
Yeah, see, that's
the other one's still coming up, so we'd have to add bars or take bars away. which is just a little bit of a.
Could also. Oh my God! Look at that.
Whoa, how'd that happen?
This. Lots of LFOs.
Okay.
Right. So.
Quite nice to look at, though.
I was just thinking, I'm automating this EQ as a bandpass filter.
Yeah.
Maybe that's too high. Maybe it's too bright there.
Yeah, it does sound too bright.
So see how high up that goes?
Yes. That could come down when everything comes back in. That shimmer can.
Right. I need to get a
Can be
handle on what this is doing.
Yeah, it could solo it there too. I mean, we have this whole issue with the break happening now, where we don't want the break to be too cheesy. That's a cool. That works well. That fits well without eating everything up, and without making the track fall apart.
Oops.
Because these pads together gives that kind of like 90s drum and bass, liquid drum and bass feel, just for a few bars.
It needs to be a little higher than that, though.
Yeah. It would probably take you longer than the time we have to clean it up, but in theory.
That's very true. It's probably too loud, also.
That should come into that kind of scream effect.
Get this? The snaky thing?
The other thing, the psh.
Oh,
Like
it's a like a. I think it's just a stretched
like a
or
crash
pitched.
or something like
pitched.
No, there was one that at some point, somewhere in the track, there was like a hooky sound, like kind of like a splash cymbal. Kind of like some of that. Okay, I think you guys are happy with the. You guys are happy, Cliff and Mike. You guys are happy with the changes? Yeah, it's an idea. It can do one of 8 million things, right? It's Electro, so
There's so many things to do.
so many.
I didn't say this earlier, but I also thought about doing another more simplified edit of this track without the breaks in it at all. Just like straight electro only.
I would like to hear
satisfy the purists.
I think that could be homework until the next session is you make the electro version. And this one's pretty much a wrap. I think
it's so close.
I think I was talking about how often you work on a track for how long. You get tunnel vision quickly, and you can't listen to it. That's why you got to play things for your friends or your guest hosts,
your
etc.
surprise guest,
or the people of the internet, the friends on the internet, because
friends on the internet.
We often don't know what we're listening to anymore. When you listen to something 8 million times, it's just you're just looking at it.
I want to watch this again. Are you ready? Last time, everybody. Submit your tracks.
Yes.
By February 9th on our Discord channel to get feedback from Lenny D and me. This is the guy right here. He's a legend in my book. You know, I helped Bill get started by putting out his first release. Jason and I putting out his first release on Serotonin. And then Lenny D and also another old school New York guy, Jimmy Crash. These two New York early, rave scene hard techno DJs helped me get my start. So, we're passing along the...
torches get passed.
The torches are getting passed. Good one. Good save, Bill. I wasn't sure what to say.
I finally said something with merit.
You've said a lot of things with merit. This is fantastic, Bill. This went as well as I could. I hoped at the last minute with no preparation whatsoever. I was still setting. I was trying to set up cameras and fix the lights so it looked good with two people. And then he's in here, and I'm like, I had the second camera, and we were like, no, we can't do that because it shows the backs of our heads, and we're old. So.
Still something there. It's not tattooed on yet.
Hey, Aaron Hedges, good idea. I don't see Adam that much. Adam X, you probably see him more than I do in Berlin.
He lives out in Berlin.
I'd love to have Adam on the show as well. He's definitely.
I'm sure he'd be up for it.
I've known him for years, and
he has a story to tell.
We even early on I'm not trying to like make any like big, things here, but like, he came over and we looked at Ableton Live and like just getting started, moving over from hardware into the computer, like when he was kind of making that transition years ago. So yeah, like we go back to the rave days and back to even Ableton Live Education. We have some connections there. So I'd love to have Adam on. He makes some crazy stuff.
Get
and he still
educated.
does Sonic Groove Records and
he's still
his partner Madon.
correct.
What's her Megan?
Megan?
Yeah,
Maiden.
plays live and has modular synths and is killing it now. I'd love to have her on too. I mean,
Yeah, they're
shoot,
keeping it real.
there's all sorts of people I'd love to have on the show. I want to do more in person too.
The in person is fun. This is the spontaneity is awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you, John, for having me.
Sure
on.
thing. And
Pleasure to meet y'all.
we'll have to do it again, either
We will.
remotely or in person.
We will. We'll do send your
So-
topics in. We'll do a topic.
Very
Start
nice.
track from scratch or a sound design thingy
Ooh.
or maybe
If we
Yeah.
ever do this again in person and we plan ahead, all right, there's all this gear in here that I never use because I've been lazy. I feel like you and I could like plug in a mixer and just make a jam.
jams would be
There's
fun.
a table right there, set up a camera overhead, like
Yep.
do a little like just hardware, whatever, that could be cool.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks everybody. Oh, look at this. I love it. Former student of John Selway here. He taught us well. It's good to see him still cooking bangers on the fly.
Woo-wee.
Thank you so much, whoever that is in Berlin. Thank you. Glad that you enjoyed your experience with me. And thanks to everybody in the chat today, all the friends, and everybody for hanging out and watching the show today. And yeah, definitely enjoy your week. We're going to go have lunch now. So adios, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Bill.
Be good.